The dark truth of a family feud. $3 million dispute over an inherited California property. Inheritance battles have long been a source of familial strife, but few stories encapsulate the emotional and financial devastation like the ongoing dispute over a $3 million California property. What began as an opportunity to honor a family legacy has spiraled into a bitter feud, pitting siblings against each other in courtrooms and public opinion. This is the dark truth behind one family's descent into chaos over a once-beloved family home. The background: a family's golden asset. The property in question, a charming 4-bedroom house located in a coveted coastal California neighborhood, had been in the family for 3 generations. Originally purchased by the patriarch Robert Carter in the 1950s for a modest $15,000, the home's value skyrocketed over the decades as the California real estate market boomed. For years, the home served as the family's gathering place, hosting birthdays, weddings, and countless holiday celebrations. When Robert passed away in 2015, he left the property to his 3 children, Margaret, Tom, and Lisa, with the intention that they share it equally. However, he failed to anticipate how differences in financial priorities, personal grievances, and long-standing rivalries would lead to an irreparable rift. Margaret, the eldest sibling, insists the property should remain in the family as a shared retreat. A single mother and a school teacher, she views the home as a priceless repository of memories and a legacy worth preserving. "This house isn't just real estate," Margaret argued during a recent court hearing. "It's where we became a family. Selling it would mean selling our history." Margaret's stance is rooted in emotional attachment. For her, the house represents stability and continuity in an increasingly fragmented world. She has poured her own resources into maintaining the property, often without consulting her siblings, which has only deepened the rift. Tom, the middle sibling, sees the property as an underperforming asset. With significant debts from his struggling business, Tom has pushed to sell the home and divide the proceeds, arguing it's the most practical solution. "We're sitting on a gold mine," Tom said in an interview. "Keeping the house makes no sense when the market's this hot. We could all use the money for other things." Tom's financial troubles add a layer of urgency to his position. His mounting debts and pressure from creditors have left him desperate for liquidity. He accuses Margaret of being unrealistic and selfish for prioritizing sentiment over financial prudence. Lisa, the youngest, lives out of state and has no sentimental attachment to the home. Her interest is purely financial, but she's furious over what she sees as Margaret's and Tom's inability to reach a compromise. "This house is tearing us apart," Lisa lamented. "If Dad knew what this inheritance would do to us, he'd be heartbroken." Lisa's detachment from the property stems from her own busy life. She works as an executive in Chicago and views the house as a distant relic of her childhood. However, her pragmatic approach has failed to mediate the escalating conflict between her siblings. The family's inability to agree led Margaret to file for a partition action, a legal process that could force the sale of the property. In response, Tom countersued, alleging Margaret had prevented him from accessing the house for years, effectively blocking his rights as a co-owner. Partition actions are often the last resort in inheritance disputes. They allow co-owners of property to divide their interests, either by selling the property and splitting the proceeds or physically dividing the land. In most cases, courts favor selling the property, as dividing a single-family home is impractical. The legal battle has already drained over $100,000 in attorney fees, and the emotional toll has been equally steep. Court transcripts reveal heated exchanges, accusations of manipulation, and even threats of estrangement. Both Margaret and Tom have accused each other of acting in bad faith, while Lisa's attempts to mediate have largely been ignored. Adding to the complexity is the skyrocketing value of the property. Recent appraisals estimate the home's worth at $3.2 million, a significant increase from its $3 million valuation just a year earlier. This appreciation has only intensified the dispute, as each sibling stands to gain more from a sale. The battle over the property has become a proxy war for unresolved family tensions. Margaret and Tom have clashed for years over what Margaret describes as Tom's reckless financial decisions. while Tom accuses Margaret of using their father's death to control the family narrative. Lisa, meanwhile, has long felt overshadowed by her siblings, a dynamic she claims has left her alienated from family discussions. "This isn't just about the house," said Dr. Evelyn Grant, a family therapist who specializes in inheritance disputes. "It's about power, identity, and unspoken resentments that have been simmering for decades." Potential resolutions and lessons learned. The case remains unresolved, but mediation offers a potential path forward. Mediators have suggested solutions ranging from selling the property and splitting the proceeds to establishing a trust that allows the house to remain in the family while generating rental income. However, such solutions require mutual cooperation, something the Carters have struggled to achieve. Alternative solutions: rental income. Transforming the house into a rental property could provide ongoing income while preserving family ownership. This approach, however, requires agreement on management and maintenance responsibilities. Buyout. One sibling could buy out the other's shares, allowing the house to remain in the family without further conflict. However, this solution depends on the buyer's financial capacity. Family trust. Placing the property in a family trust could ensure its preservation while establishing clear rules for its use and maintenance. This approach has been successful in other inheritance disputes but requires upfront legal costs and long-term commitment. Lessons for families. This high-profile dispute offers valuable lessons for families navigating inheritance issues. Clear estate planning. Robert's failure to provide detailed instructions on how to manage the property created a vacuum of decision-making. Communication. Proactive discussions about inheritance and expectations can prevent misunderstandings and resentment. Third-party mediators. Bringing in neutral parties early can help families find common ground before disputes escalate. Financial education. Understanding the implications of shared inheritance can help families make informed decisions and avoid conflicts. A legacy in limbo. As the legal battle drags on, the house sits vacant, a poignant symbol of the family's discord. Neighbors who once admired the Carters for their close-knit bonds now watch as their feud plays out in public. A reminder of how money and sentiment can unravel even the strongest familial ties. Whether the Carters will find a resolution remains uncertain, but their story serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of inheritance without unity. In the end, the true cost of this $3 million property may be measured not in dollars, but in the relationships lost along the way.